Hi, in this video what we would like to do is create a script in Go that catches OS interrupts and then initiates a graceful shutdown of the HTTP server. So to begin with, we have our graceful shutdown file, and let's just create a main method. And in the main method, what we want to do is we want to initiate a graceful shutdown of the HTTP server. And what else do we need to do? We of course need to catch the interrupt. So we catch the interrupt and we initiate a graceful shutdown. That's it. So to begin with, let's do some experiments. First, let's experiment with catching the signal. So let's create a channel. This channel will basically catch the signal, the OS signal to, let's say for example, interrupt signal, and we want to make sure it's a buffered channel. So we just put one there. And then we notify with the channel and the kind of interrupt we want. So let's say we just want a simple OS interrupt. So once we get this, let's say, once we receive an interrupt, we'll simply print signal received, let's say. That's it. So what should happen is the program should start and it should just hang there until we send a interrupt. So in our case, let's say we'll send Control C. So let's try this. So we try shutdown. So we run this program. So now we are waiting. The program is waiting for us to send an interrupt. So what happened is channel got created, signal.notify got run, and here it's blocking. It's basically waiting for us to send an interrupt. So if we press Control C, we should see signal received. So let's try that. Control C, and there we go. Signal received. So this is our code to catch the interrupt. Alright, so now let's try a graceful shutdown of the HTTP server. Let's try that. Let's comment this for now. And let's just create a simple server. That's it, nothing more. And then let's listen and serve. And we could wrap it. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it in a println instead of an error. Just want to print it out when the server shuts down. All right. Yeah. So now let's try to let's just create a simple message that server started, and server starts, and then yeah, and then we just do a Control C and kill the server. No graceful shutdown. Or we're just basically testing the code. Alright, so let's run it again. So now let me compile it. Okay, something got auto declare. Okay, so you just want to name just the graceful shutdown script. Okay, so let's try now. Alright, allow access. So the server started, nothing is happening, and when we do a hard Control C, server gets closed, but it's not graceful, it's just killing it. So some process may be running in the background, and so that's the reason we want to catch the interrupt, wait for the initiate a proper shutdown, and yeah, so that's what we want to do. So to initiate a proper shutdown is basically we can you just run serve.shutdown, and you can just use a background context. That's it. So this will basically initiate a proper shutdown. So what we can do is, let's imagine that we still don't have our interrupt implemented yet. So we're just imitating that shutdown is going to take place after, let's say, 3 seconds. So we can do something like put it in an anonymous function, this shutdown, and then of course check for error. And, if error is not nil, we want to do some kind of a log, and then just print the error. We can also do so shutdown, just for better record keeping. Yeah, so that's in case an error occurs. So now we can do something like just to test it out. We just want to test the So we just sleep for 3 seconds. So what we're doing here, we just want to test the shutdown function. So we're going to just sleep for 3 seconds and then test shutdown. So that means then a proper shutdown will have been initiated. So that's just what we want to check. So we can do something like just imitating, mocking rather. We can do something like shutdown initiated, and then shut down. So let's run this. Okay, so the server started and waits 3 seconds, and then nice. Shutdown initiated, server closed. Great. So yeah, that's what we're testing for. So the test also worked. So yeah, the test also worked. Let's run it one more time. So what happened was we were running the server, and then we also ran an anonymous function in the backend, in the background. This go function, go subroutine, sleeps for 3 seconds, initiates a shutdown, and then runs the proper SRV shutdown command. And this is basically our graceful shutdown, where we have initiated this command, and then that's shut down the server properly. What we haven't done yet is, of course, we haven't caught the signal. We haven't done a Control-C and catching the signal, or or the OS send a signal to an interrupt signal. So we haven't caught the signal yet. All we have done is just wait 3 seconds and shut down the server. So again, let's test it out. Server started, 3 seconds, 1, 2, and there we go. Shutdown initiated, server closed. Great. So now, only thing left is basically integrating this with our shutdown method. So let's do that. Let's catch the interrupt. Let's create the channel, notify, wait for, and we don't need this anymore because we know that it's going to send it. So now all we need to do is catch this in our anonymous, go subroutine. All we do is just wait for the interrupt, and as soon as we receive it, we're going to shut down. So let's ignore this also. We don't need this, and we're just going to initiate the shutdown as soon as we receive the Control-C. Let's say. So I have my build in the background, so I don't have to build it again. All I just do is run it. The server started. So now if I press Control-C, it will catch the signal, it will print shutdown initiated, and then graceful shutdown will occur here. And of course, this won't be printed because there should not be any error. So here we go, Control-C, and there we go, shutdown initiated, server closed. Excellent, so this works fine. So that's all the code you need to initiate a graceful shutdown signal, and then subroutine running in the background where you wait for to catch the signal and then initiate this. So this is the code you need. That's it. Now, let's say we want to actually also, actually test it out. Does it really wait for background process to finish? Does shutdown actually wait for background process to finish before it shuts the system down, the server down? So let's mock that also. Let's create a mock-up where we have some heavy process waiting to finish, some kind of operation, background task, let's say, or sending mail, or some DB operation, something that takes something that we want to make sure that we're waiting for that process to finish. Of course, it will wait because shutdown does that. It's a graceful shutdown. But what we're doing here is we're trying to mock that situation by doing sleep or something. All right, so let's, in order for that to happen, let's initiate a wait group. And of course, in production system, also you would have this kind of a wait group where you actually will wait for the process to finish, that background process to finish. So this is also part of the production code where you will be implementing this. So you have the wait group, and once you receive the signal, you will actually wait for the wait group to finish. So you would do something like wait. So now let's mock our heavy-duty process that's running. So we again create another subroutine, and in this subroutine, of course, we do a defer done. We wait for the thing to finish, and then here is our imaginary heavy-duty process. So let's say we sleep for 5 seconds. Okay, so this is our imaginary process. So we added it. We sleep for 5 seconds for the heavy process to finish. Yeah, that should do it. And now all we do is build the Go file. Just wait for a second, let the Go file build, and then we can now run it. So once I run this, this is also going to happen, start in the background. So what I'll do is, I'm not sleeping here anymore. So what I'll do is, as soon as I run this, I'll immediately initiate a Control-C. And then what we should see is the server will wait until this time has elapsed, and then it will shut it down. So again, I'll run the script and immediately press Control-C. Running it, Control-C pressed. So you can see, shutdown initiated, it's waiting. And then, nice, it waited, and then this got finished and the server closed. That's it. That's the full sequence of steps. And we can, let's try it out again, and this time we'll wait more than 5 seconds. So initiated, server started, we're just waiting more than 5 seconds. And then if we press Control-C now, the server will shut down immediately because 5 seconds have already passed. It doesn't need to wait for anything. So Control-C, and immediately it's shut down. Okay, one more test. This time we're going to press Control-C immediately, and now shutdown initiated. It's waiting for the process to finish, and then it closes it. Fantastic. So that is it. That's the code, and we can make it a little nice because after all, we like nice things. So what we can do is we can run. What I want to do is actually this shutdown initiated. I want to just animate it a little bit, just to show that okay, something is happening. We're waiting for something to finish. So I think that's even though it's not necessary at all, I think it's nice user feedback, and makes the program all the more fun to use. So we can just do an infinite loop and just print the dots as if it's an animation or so, and then just sleep for a second for each dot to appear while we are waiting, of course, for our process to finish. So let's increase this a little bit so that we have some time to enjoy the animation, so to speak. All right, so saved, built, and let's run. Shut down, and let's say override, Control C, and yeah, shutdown initiated. Okay, the animation didn't happen because I think my background script didn't actually build it. So let's build it manually and run the program again. So we started, Control C, shutdown initiated, and yeah, you can see the animation. It's waiting, 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 and then server closed. So that's it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.